Hey, it's Risa G, baking in my cluttered kitchen today with my number one son, Trevor.
Yeah.
And we thought we would come in and bake the number one bread recipe that I'm asked for at every potluck, at every potluck, at every family thing. Everybody always wants to know about the garlic bubble loaf. And so I thought I would do a short video on the garlic bubble loaf. The first time that I actually got the recipe, I was in a Yahoo group on bread machines, the ABM group, and there was a challenge loaf every couple of weeks. Everybody had to make it and say what they did differently, what worked for them, what didn't. And it was originally from Taste of Home magazine. It was called Garlic Herb Bubble Loaf. And I made it as the directions showed. And we liked it, but we weren't thrilled with it. And so eventually I just started playing around with the recipe until I came up with a version that everybody in the house liked. And then I had Trevor come in with me. He must have been about 5 and help me make the dough. And
Wasn't that young?
Yes, you were that young. And for years I had him come in every once in a while and help me with it. And eventually, I think when he was about 6 or 7, I had him working the dough, and I told him to roll it into little balls and dunk it in the garlic and put it in the thing, and he just wasn't following what I was doing, and I was getting very frustrated. And he started playing with the dough, and eventually he stuck his thumb in a dough ball, and I went, "No, don't do that. You're wrong. Oh, no," and started yelling at him. But then I realized something. We could put something in that hole, basically make lemons with, make lemonade out of lemons, and it became the big secret to this great loaf. So, we're going to make the bread for you. The garlic herb bubble loaf, but now more garlic parmesan.
Yeah,
loaf.
we just kind of add things in sometimes.
Sometimes I add a wonderful herb mixture from King Arthur. Sometimes I use fresh herbs, and sometimes I just add some parmesan or pecorino or whatever I've got. And this time I've got pecorino.
Garlic bubble loaf is kind of the only bread that I really care about.
Yes, it's the only bread you like, really. All right, so
it's not that I don't like
I want you to stand over there.
It's not like I don't like other breads. It's just...
I know. Well, this one has it has a history with you, and you like it. All right. So anyway, I used to always serve it with pasta, and that was the only thing I served it with. Now I make it for all kinds of hot lugs.
It's great for sopping up the sauce.
It's great for sopping up the sauce. So anyway, so this is what we're going to do. First, Trevor is going to chop up with the chop wizard. He's going to mince up the garlic. Just press it down. You can see that?
I know what to...
Yeah. All right, and then just keep doing it until you get all this done. All right, because I like to...
Nothing like fresh garlic.
I like to make the garlic mixture ahead of time and let it kind of infuse while I'm making the dough. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that into this extra virgin olive oil. And also I melted a little bit of butter, because butter goes in there too, except that to get
all right.
All right, so close it for a minute, just so that it doesn't, and go and put this in add the butter to the garlic and the oil, and let it infuse for a little while we make the dough. Now, the rest of the ingredients is some extra virgin olive oil, some sour cream, some sugar, and this is organic sugar, some salt, and this is Himalayan, but it doesn't really matter. I prefer either fine sea salt or the fine Himalayan. And then some bread flour. And we're going to mix it into the mixer, actually, into the stand mixer, because I do not have a bread machine anymore. The last bread machine is kind of on its last legs, and so I took it out of the kitchen a while ago. And we're just using the stand mixer this time. So, first we're gonna take this and put the garlic into here. I get that butter out of the microwave. Alright, so we're going to put the butter into here. Okay, and we're going to set that aside until later. I have another little visitor in the kitchen right now, and her name is Roxy, the crazy nutjob basset hound. I guess Trevor will see if he can get her out there. I will start putting the ingredients in. All right, this is a little bit of yeast. It's active dry yeast. And a little bit of warm water. I'm putting it into my stand mixer. If I had a bread machine, I would just put everything in except for the garlic mixture that we made and let it go on the dough cycle, but I don't have that now. So, okay, so that's that. Then a little bit of sour cream. This one is low fat, but you can use full fat or low fat. No fat-free. Fat-free doesn't work. It has too much of something in it that's just not real thing. And it doesn't give you the real flavor. Okay. And then, let's start with a little bit of water and oil, not everything. And I like to mix that up a little bit first before adding the flour and everything. And then we're going to get the flour and the salt and the sugar. This is bread flour. I think the original called for all purpose.
No.
But my hands are impeccably clean because I washed them before I baked and cooked. And we have some organic sugar. And I'm just going to put in a little bit of this salt right now. And we're going to start it going. Alright, see, it's not really coming together too well. It's too crumbly. So you add in some more of the liquid. It also depends on... Alright, it depends on... the amount of flour depends on the humidity in the air and all kinds of other things. But I like to put it in slowly, and the second it looks like a really good dough, or it looks like it's going to be a nice moist dough, then I stop it. So... Okay, I also think that it might need a little bit more of the water. And a little bit, possibly a little more oil, we'll see. Okay, you see how it's starting to form a ball? We're going to switch out to the dough hook for a minute or two until it comes into a regular ball. And if it doesn't, because it's all weird like it is right now, where it's in 3 separate pieces, I like to kind of push it together and hopefully... If it doesn't, then I'll just add a little more flour or a little more of something else, and it'll come together. Okay, we've got a full ball. Okay, so we're going to take it out and put it into a greased bowl. Alright, I've got a greased bowl. It's just greased down with extra virgin olive oil. And we're going to let it rest for a good, I don't know, half an hour to an hour, depending on how it looks after that. If it doubles in size after half an hour, then we'll start working it. We'll cut it into pieces, and if it isn't, then we'll wait another half an hour. Okay, so as we can see, the dough has risen, and it's got lots of little air holes, and it's not sticky. It is a little sticky under here. I'm going to put it on my surface. All right. Then I'm going to flour the top a little bit. And I'm going to just knead it for a couple of seconds so we get a nice smooth ball. Okay. You're putting the hand under and pinching to make it a smooth ball. Alright. Punching it down. And then I'm going to cut it into 2 even amounts. Okay. Then I'm going to roll each ball into a snake about a foot or so long. Alright. I hate when the side gets a little bit thinner.
I couldn't resist.
He's full of jokes. He's always full of jokes. Alright. So I'm gonna, normally I would also let these rest for a little while, but I don't think it's really totally necessary. A little bit longer. So we go from the center out.
Excuse me.
Center out. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut them into as even pieces as we can. That's about, well, see, this one's a little bit longer, but it doesn't really matter. If you have a couple that are smaller, a couple that are bigger, it doesn't really matter. It's all going in one place. Okay, and okay, so Trevor's going to take one snake. I'm going to take another snake, and he's going to cut with this. I'm going to cut with that. So what we're going to do is what you do is you turn it this way. That way you get kind of even. You get an idea of your even pieces. Alright? Alright, and then you cut. And then I usually do about 3 on each side. So 1, then you put them together. See, then you put them together. You put the small one in front of that one. They're kind of tiny. Alright. Well, then you'll make tiny balls with this one. Alright? Measure them out. They have to be the same size. This is what I mean. He doesn't listen. Same size. Same size. Alright, see. So see mine? Mine are all pretty much the same size. Yours are tiny. Alright, and then I'm going to do 3 more on this side. Measuring with this piece. And then... Alright, then same thing. If one is a little bit bigger, it's not a big deal. Alright, once you get them all, made, which you now have them all basically made, you roll them into little balls, right, like this. If you need, you put a little bit more flour, although this dough isn't very this dough isn't excessively sticky. But if it gets a little sticky, put a little bit of flour on the board and you roll it into a ball. Then with your thumb, with your thumb, you make a hole in the center. Doesn't matter if it rises a little bit in. Then you take a little bit of the garlicky mixture and you stick it in the hole. And then you stretch the dough, over. And then you roll it back up into a ball. You only needed to take a tiny bit of the garlic mixture, Trevor. Tiny. No, but you took too much of the liquid. You take just the garlic. That's the oven saying, hey, I'm ready. All right, we're going to do it again. Sometimes if you have trouble with it, what you do is you press out the ball a little and you make your hole. And then you carefully scoop some garlic into the spoon without too much of the liquid. And then you take the back part and you, holding the garlic mixture in place, you place it in half.
I need a towel.
So there's towels over there. You should know where the towels are.
I don't know where anything is.
He doesn't know where anything is. He's only been in this kitchen for 17 years.
I never paid attention.
Oh, well, see, now you're going to pay attention. All right. So I've got two.
You're the one who always does the cooking.
I know, but
I
you...
help once in a blue moon.
Yeah, I know. All right, so again, make a ball. Roll it out a little bit with your fingers. Put your finger in the middle. Take a teeny bit of the garlic, not a lot of the liquid. And you put that in the center. And then you fold it over. And you make a ball. All right? Same thing again. Gets repetitive after a while. You roll it into a ball. You flatten a little hole. Little bit of the garlic mixture. And then fold it over. That's why it's supposed to make it a little bit bigger. Alright, okay? Let me just keep doing that. Okay? Sometimes it can be just one little piece of garlic. Doesn't matter. Roll it over. Roll it into a ball. And, usually I don't have this much liquid. I have to admit there's a little more liquid than it usually is. Okay, and then, after you're finished with all of that, you take your greased baking dish. You take it and you dunk it into the garlicky mixture. And you put them like any other bubble loaf. You know, like normal bubble loaves, sweet ones have that cinnamon sugar or whatever that you dunk it into. Or some have like pecan sticky roll mixture, kind of. Doesn't matter if you get a little ball of garlic, it'll just get crusty and yummy. Alright? Alright, and then... Alright. Were these already filmed? No. Oh, God. How come I finished in 4 seconds flat?
Because I don't like getting my hands dirty.
Well, you don't have to get your hands dirty.
What do you call this?
The dough is dry. It's not wet.
But that's wet.
So what? You hold it on top. That's why you make them bigger. Hold it on top. That way you don't feel it.
Ugh, disgusting.
That's right. Tell the whole world it's disgusting. I think he forgets we're taping.
I don't care.
Alright.
I'm stating my opinion.
I know you don't.
It feels disgusting.
I know you don't like to get messy. I realize that. But
I'm saying the dough feels disgusting.
No, it doesn't. The dough feels
It
nice.
does.
The dough feels
especially when it's all moist and... Ugh.
It's not all. Actually, it's supposed to be soft like a baby's bottom. That's good dough. Right?
Yeah, maybe technically good dough, but it also doesn't feel good to the touch.
Oh, it does to me. Alright, and then we seal them up, put them in, put that one in.
Ugh.
And then normally after all the balls go in and I drizzle this mixture over the top, I usually cover it and let it sit for a half an hour, something like that, while we wait for the oven. While we wait for the oven to preheat. Go wash your hands. Then you sprinkle whatever's left over the top. And usually there are some herbs in it. This time I'm not using any herbs, but this one's going to be super garlicky to go with our dish tonight, which is Rachel Ray's corny carbonara, which I'm getting very excited to make. It's going to be really good with local corn, but of course I couldn't get local corn yet, and normally I don't cook too much out of season like that, but I've been dying to try that recipe, so we're going to do it anyway. Okay, so normally I would cover this, let it rise for half an hour or something like that, and then I would put it in. But I'm just going to put it in. They'll still rise, they'll still be yummy, and so they're going into a 375 degree oven for 35 to 40 minutes. And then we will have golden, delicious garlic bubble loaf. Okay, so it's out of the oven. It's cooled off a little bit, and look how gorgeous. That is a gorgeous loaf of bread. And it's nice and crusty and brown. I noticed about 10 minutes before it was done that it was getting too brown. So I covered it with a silicone lid and let it bake for the last 10 minutes. See, it's soft and comes right out because I buttered it really, really well. All right, so if you want more recipes like this, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that silly little bell. And I'll have more for you at some point. Hope you really enjoyed this. Thanks for sitting down at my kitchen table. Bye.